Good evening, Tallahassee. Welcome to the first Wednesday edition of FSU weather for the semester. Let's get into what it's going to look like this week. Today it is a beautiful 94 degrees. The dew point is a little bit lower, so that's why we're getting a little bit nicer, less humid conditions, and it is sunny with wind coming from the north-northeast at 6 miles per hour. So today the current temperature, as I said, 94 degrees. Is a little bit higher up here in Valdosta at 98 degrees and a little bit lower in Apalachicola, sitting in the upper 80s. So looking at this radar, there's a little bit of cloud cover going on, nothing that we're going to see until at least late afternoon on Thursday, where we're going to see some showers coming through the area, but nothing that should affect your day-to-day life. As I said, tonight is going to be clear skies, 74 degrees. It's going to be very beautiful. And tomorrow, 85 degrees, mostly sunny. Today on FSU Weather, we're going to be talking about the weather history, a birthday spotlight, and the tropics excessive heat.
Hello and welcome to FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Chandler Pruitt.
I'm student meteorologist Ryan Seeger, and happy Wednesday. We made it past the hump.
Exactly, and it's a nice toasty one out there. It could be warmer, but you know,
could be warmer, but
93 degrees. Ooh.
For fall, it's kind of on the toasty side of things. Definitely getting up mid-90s today.
Exactly, but it is September in Tallahassee, and you know we don't really get into the football weather that you think of until
football
October.
weather that you think of. But our football team, ranked number 4 in the country.
Absolutely, they're
so
cooking.
Talk
about
football
things
weather
on
in Tallahassee
fire.
at Doak Campbell Stadium.
Exactly, and thank goodness that this Saturday is going to be a night game at 8:30, so we don't have to worry about the 93-degree temperature.
Comfortable 70s and 80s by that point in the night. So it'll be a little more comfortable, and you won't have a nice sunburn after the game to go with.
That's right, yeah.
Go with a nice FSU win. So.
Exactly.
Anyway, how was your weekend? Kind of an interesting one with the long hurricanes.
Exactly. We had quite a break, but now we're back, and now we're going to send things over the wall to really get more into detail about the local.
Thank you guys so much. And as Isabel said, we are experiencing a beautiful day, but it is not feeling like fall yet. 94 degrees and mostly sunny. It is feeling like summer part 2 here in Tallahassee. And we can even see that we almost broke our record high of 97 degrees in 1917, with our high being 96 today. And we were well above our average of 90 degrees, which can be seen across the entire Big Bend region with consistent low to mid-90 temperatures, except down in the coast here in Apalachicola, we are seeing an 87. But as Isabel said, once again, Valdosta did experience 98 degrees right now at this moment, which is quite blistering in my opinion. We can see some storms building up over in the Gulf of Mexico, but if we zoom into our area, there is not much to see. We have some backscatter from our radar here, so today should be a beautiful day, and into the evening, again, a beautiful night to go outside and hang out with your friends. So there's nothing to be worried about in terms of rain. However, there will be an active frontal system passing in our area, and you can see Thursday evening and even Thursday afternoon some storms headed into the Big Bend region, and those temperatures will drop just a little bit because of the cloud cover, but it won't make our days any more warm than they already have been. And we can see that as it goes on, our rainfall forecast will increase, and throughout the weekend we will see up to 1 inch of rain for the entire weekend. So be sure that you have your umbrella this weekend because we will be experiencing a lot of rain. But for tonight, we have beautiful, comfortable temperatures, 74 in Tallahassee. It's a great day to go out and hang out with your friends, as I mentioned earlier. And if you're walking your dog tomorrow, make sure that you walk them early in the morning, because 74 degrees at 7 a.m., however, 88 degrees at 11 a.m., the dog's paws will be affected by the hot floor. So we want to make sure that we keep our puppy's paws safe. And we're going to take a look into our week ahead, and you can see that frontal system come in through the weekend. Friday, we have a 60% chance of rain, so we will see more rain coming throughout the weekend. However, after the frontal system passes at the beginning of next week, we will see that the temperatures are very consistent and they do not decrease, which we would expect to see with a cold front, but we will see beautiful weather towards the beginning of next week. But Again, really warm temperatures, but we will not need to have an umbrella at the beginning of next week. But let's backtrack, and we're going to talk a little bit about the end of this week once again. If you're going to class on Friday, please bring an umbrella because we will see a lot of rain from that frontal system that I was speaking about earlier, and we will have lovely weather in the evening. So if you were to go out in the evening, yes, you may need an umbrella, but it will be nice and comfortable for everyone. And now we're going to pass things off to Nico.
Thank you, Joy. Yeah, we are going to be dealing with some showers and storms as we head into Friday. That will be interesting for sure with how dry it's been. But looking around Florida today first, you can see it's gotten even hotter since yesterday. It's now 94 degrees in Tallahassee, 92 in Jacksonville, and you're talking about 90s pretty much statewide. You have gotten the East Coast sea breeze a bit in South Florida, so those areas more in the mid to upper 80s. But here, if you look at your satellite and radar, similar story to yesterday. We don't have much in the way of any rain or clouds over the state of Florida today. Got a lot of rain in the Gulf of Mexico, so if you're out boating in the Gulf of Mexico, like I said yesterday, it's not going to be pleasant. But if you're over the state of Florida, today's a nice evening to be out and about. But looking at the rainfall, the 72-hour rainfall, you can see some on Thursday, but that big blue blob on Friday, that's when we're going to get most of our rain. So we could see up to an inch in some areas if you can get a storm to form and linger over the same area. You get the same kinds of pockets along the sea breezes, the west coast sea breeze near Tampa Bay, the east coast sea breeze along 95. You may see some enhanced areas of storms as we head into this weekend and the end of the week. As you can see for Miami, they aren't showing the storm icons, but they do have a pretty decent chance of storms the next few days along the sea breeze. So that's definitely something that you're going to want to be weather aware of the next few days. Tampa, you keep your moisture levels a little bit lower until Saturday, but if you have weekend plans on Saturday, pay attention, don't get struck by lightning. It might be a better day to be indoors if you want. Orlando, Friday is going to be very active in the center part of the state with the sea breeze collision. You're talking about a 90% chance of storms on Friday. So if you're going to be at the theme parks, if you're going to be out and about in Orlando, Friday evening is going to be an evening where you really want to bring a rain jacket and try to have backup plans if you're planning to be outdoors. Jacksonville, the first thing that sticks out to me is the hot temperature tomorrow. You're going to be near record highs, 96 degrees, and then Friday and Saturday look like they're going to be pretty active along the frontal system combining with the sea breeze. So Friday and Saturday evening, you need to pay attention to the weather in northeastern Florida. And looking at Pensacola has a higher chance than 0% for sure tomorrow. I have been looking at some models. I think it's going to storm there tomorrow, and you're going to have to watch that frontal system. Friday is going to be a high coverage day of showers and storms. But looking at tonight's forecast, this is today's for sure for temperatures. It was very hot. You know it was very hot if you were outside. Looking at tomorrow, 96 degrees in Tallahassee. The record today was 97, so you're talking about another day that's going to be near record high temperatures tomorrow statewide, really. Even looking into central and southern Florida, you're looking at mid-90s as well. Pensacola, you're starting to get into the showers and storms as the frontal system approaches. But now I'm going to pass things off to Elizabeth to look at the heat wave going on in Texas.
Yeah, so as we know, it's very hot here in Florida, but it's especially hot also in the state of Texas right now. So we have heat advisories out for all of the areas shaded in orange here, and these shaded regions in pink are actually excessive heat warning. So the heat advisory means that the temperatures, or the heat index, excuse me, can reach above 110 degrees, I believe, and the excessive heat warning is heat indices above 115. So it's extremely hot over there, and here are these current temperatures. We are sitting in the triple digits in some places, even close to it in San Angelo, 99, 103 in Houston, 104 in Dallas right now, 102 in Midland, and it is also very dry. We're starting to add some more moisture here along the eastern portion of the state, but still our dew points are in the lower 60s, especially on the western side of the state, which is really going to make it seem a lot more hotter than it is, which is what we're seeing right here. It feels like 118 in Houston, 118 in Shreveport, 110 in Dallas, 100 in San Angelo, and in Midland right now. And we are sitting above average actually for most of the country right now. So these positive numbers right here are how many
degrees we are away from the average. So we are 12 degrees warmer in Dallas right now than we should be on a normal day like today, 11 in Albuquerque and 12 in New York. So really the same sort of deal across the rest of the country. And we aren't getting any rain to help that heat at all right now. A few scattered showers right now, and looking at the future radar as well, we'll see those showers move out of the area, dry overnight. A possible shower or two is possible as you head into Thursday evening, but again, another hot day tomorrow. The high temperature 106 in Dallas, 104 in San Angelo, 93 in Alpine, and not much relief for rain goes as far as Dallas. We're going to sit in the triple digits and nearing that as we head into the weekend. And it's pretty hot everywhere else, like I said, right, Genevieve?
Elizabeth, you are so beyond correct. That heat is persisting, and you just mentioned that heat we have the Hurricane Center coming up. Got to fix that real quick. But we have heat persisting throughout all of Texas. And sorry, we are having some issues going through. We're going through the tropic segment, trying to get to the national segment. Oh, there we are. Current temperatures are showing hot, as Elizabeth was mentioning. I actually need to head back sorry, I apologize for the technical issues. Dew point temperatures, it's dry. There we go. The current temperatures for the country. You'll see pink and red. Those are not normal colors that we see. I know Texas, quite warm. I know one of our loyal FSU weathercasters, Robert Zott, would not be pleased to see in his homeland those hot temperatures. I know he likes snow. Along with those hot temperatures, we have really muggy conditions happening for the most part among the eastern part of the U.S. And as you head out west, that's quite desert-like. It's really dry. Albuquerque, getting into Phoenix, Salt Lake City, that's those chapstick conditions. And we'll see a low pressure system coming through, bringing those storms through the Great Lakes region from Michigan all the way down to the Mississippi River Valley, bringing those storms. Luckily, we have high pressure seated over top of us on the East Coast, so no storms at the moment. In the studio, I see the sun peeking through the window. It's quite beautiful. We'll see the upper level water vapor, so further up into the atmosphere, we'll see a good bit of moisture following those storms in the region I explained. For the SPC storm outlook, we see that slight chance of severe storms and possible hail and strong wind gusts going through the northern part of Louisiana, as well as Tennessee. So Memphis, Nashville, please stay inside today if you can. Active alerts, air quality, majority in Nebraska. So also stay inside because that air is potentially dangerous. Also something dangerous is that heat down in Texas. Very, very hot. And you know what? We're not seeing any relief. Let's check out that drought monitor down in Texas. I hate to laugh because it's such terrible conditions down there. We have a deep red getting closer to Houston. Really not great, but we'll see it quite red. Hopefully those storms, as we see, are coming through, giving a little bit of relief, getting down into Baton Rouge and that really red zone down San Antonio, Houston. Quite red on our drought monitor, but we're getting that rain, so luckily that's great. Tonight's temperatures, look at the beautiful map behind. We had our lovely producer Priscilla making our beautiful graphics today. Tonight's temperatures, it's not the best. It is September, early September, so I guess we could give it a break, but it's not quite fall. At Tallahassee, 73 degrees for our low tonight. Tomorrow's forecast, I can't say I can give you any more good news either. Texas, I just want you to stay inside. If you do go outside for even a minute, please carry your sunscreen on you and that water bottle because that is, not the best. 96 in Tallahassee, so those walk to class, not going to be so beautiful. So Elizabeth, Isabel, something is coming in the Atlantic. We're possibly looking at a hurricane to come, Hurricane Irma. What were you guys doing at that time?
Yeah, so following up some of that not super great news, we're here to talk about how we are in the center of hurricane season right now, as we saw last week.
Exactly. So with us being in the peak of hurricane season, as well as our water temperatures are very hot, it's important to stay on alert. This week in weather history, though, Hurricane Irma made landfall on September 10th in Marco Island, Florida.
Yes, this was the third strongest Atlantic hurricane on record.
And all of the damages that that storm made exceeded over $77 billion, so a very costly hurricane.
Yes, some areas experienced 20 feet of storm surge, which is more than we experienced some of the other areas in the Big Bend last week. There was a big storm surge last week, but it was not even close to this 20 feet.
Exactly, and water is one of the biggest killers of these storms. So there were 134 fatalities. 52 were directly from the storm, and 82 were indirectly from the storm.
Yeah, a lot of damage can happen after the storm has already passed. That's why it's important to always be safe. Hurricane Irma was the top Google search query.
Yeah, so I was living in Tampa when this made landfall in 2017, and we lost power for about 3 days, so it was not ideal, but there were lots of people who had it a lot worse. And have you ever had some sort of experience with a storm like that?
I know last week I had to deal with a lot of storm preparation. We were freezing some bags of water so that they could keep our food a little bit colder as if we lost power, and we were definitely staying up to date and aware on the current National Hurricane Center updates.
Of course. So yeah, on your screen now are some tips for some pre-storm advice. So yes, make sure that you are staying up to date on everything from the National Hurricane Center. They'll have stuff about the storm and the track and things like that.
Yeah, and make sure you listen to local officials when deciding to evacuate or not, just like you probably started to look into last week.
Exactly. So now we're going to pass it to Chandler to talk about our Spotlight City. What is that?
That is Jacksonville, Florida. So Jacksonville really didn't get too many impacts from Irma, and now they're not really looking at too much in the way of tropical systems. They've been chilling today. Current conditions has been nice and sunny. We have 81, mostly clear, with winds out of the south at 5 miles an hour. Quite a nice day out overall. On a little bit of the cooler side, actually, with that 81 degrees. So quite nice compared to here, where we're in the low 90s. But today they reached a high of 94 degrees and a low 69. That was warmer than average, and they had that low 72. That's their average, so they were a little bit lower than that, but nowhere near that record of 61. They were actually pretty close to the record of 98. Now for the future radar over here in Jacksonville, we do see some scattered showers in the Florida Peninsula area and a few scattered showers over in the Panhandle, but actually in North Florida it looks pretty clear overall. When we zoom in, we really see that there's some cloud cover that rolls in a little bit coming into the morning hours tomorrow, but pretty nice overall. Nice conditions, so if you are trying to do something maybe tomorrow evening, it's about 6, we're looking at pretty clear conditions. Not something you could say for areas in the Panhandle when we see a lot of those afternoon pop-up showers because of sea breeze showers. So it is pretty nice, enjoyable conditions that we predict here in the next 48 hours, or next 24 hours. As for the 3-day forecast, we have 96 degrees again for tomorrow, so it's going to be a hot, blazing one, but not much in the realm of showers, so that's going to be nice. But as for Friday, we start to see that change. We see the temperatures go down a little bit, but that's because we have cloud cover kind of reflecting the sunlight, making it cooler, but we get up to that 70% chance of rain because of those showers. And so it is something to keep in mind if you are trying to do something. Your best bet is to do something tomorrow evening. Because Friday we're looking at a decent amount of rain, and then on Saturday we also are looking at a decent amount of rain. We'll get up to about 89 degrees, so similar to Friday, but 70% chance of showers. So overall, it's going to be quite an interesting introduction to the weekend. But now I'm going to hand things off to Ryan to talk a little bit about the lifestyle here in Tallahassee.
Yeah, Chandler, let's hop on I-10, go west, and make our way towards us here in the capital city. Let's take a look at the FSU Sportsplex. If you got rec game tonight or wherever you're doing out tonight, you got great sunny skies for you. Same with St. George Island. If you find yourself going to the beach tonight, maybe Panama City, you've also got a nice day ahead. It looks like Lake Bradford camera not quite working right now. But let's take a look at the radar. Nice and quiet sweep of the radar right now. Just maybe a couple pop-up showers, but I think for the most part, it's just kind of the radar picking up on false returns. As we move through the day to today and into tomorrow, some clouds will start to work its way in from the north into the overnight hours. And as we start to get into the late afternoons to early evening, we'll start to see more showers and storms pop up as we move near Monticello and then over into the western regions of our area. That might be a little bit of an impact, especially as you start to make your commute away from campus tomorrow. 73 degrees tonight at Georgia Library, so it's going to be a nice, comfortable night if you got to do some studying. I know I've got a lot of physics work to do. Friday night bonfire, maybe you're having some fun tomorrow, or Friday rather, with a nice bonfire. 80 degrees and cooling off nicely as we get into the overnight hours to 1 a.m., hitting 76 degrees, then by 3 a.m., 74 degrees. Nice clear night to maybe strike a match, maybe get some marshmallows out, and have a nice little bonfire. I know we used to have some movie nights with the bonfire on, so definitely a fun time wherever you're doing your bonfire. Tonight we've got a 51% three-quarter moon, 7:54 will be our sunset. So we're getting earlier. We're no longer seeing 8 o'clock and later sunsets. We're starting to see late 7 o'clock hour sunsets. So good fair viewing conditions if you're going out stargazing tonight. And then of course we've got sunset getting earlier and earlier as we approach wintertime, believe it or not. If you're heading out to Tallahassee, you got great conditions for flying. I know United Airlines did have some problems yesterday. It looks like United started to clear some of those issues up. But all of our major airports, no major delays, and that trend is kind of keeping itself in a good spot. If you're heading out for a drive tomorrow, 79 degrees to start, and then rain chances start to build as we get later into the day, but 90 degrees by lunchtime. Warming ourselves up pretty warm to 93 by late afternoon. So definitely, if you're heading out on I-10, if you're heading out on I-4, wherever you are in Florida, you've got great conditions to be out and about. Just as we move later into the afternoon and into the evening, we'll work in those rain chances, and that will kind of lead to us, kind of getting a little bit more of a wetter condition. But overall, it's going to be a great day the next few days as we head into the weekend. So if you've got sports, if we're looking forward to that FSU football game on Saturday, we've got great conditions, especially with it being a night game. We're going to start to cool off nicely into the overnight hours. By 8 o'clock kickoff, it's going to definitely be a little bit cooler than we've seen. But now I'm going to hand things over to Isabel, who's going to give us more information about our local.
Yes, I'm going to give you one last look into the week for you to plan your schedule going ahead. One last look at the beautiful Doak Campbell Stadium. I will see you all there this Saturday for the game. It is 92 degrees and sunny, and wind coming from the south-southeast at 6 miles per hour. Looking at other places, we have the Sportsplex, beautiful clear skies. Panama City, we're seeing the same thing. Lake Bradford, it's dark already, as you can see, and St. George Island, beautiful as always. Looking at the local radar, we are seeing little things pop up. That's not going to be any major weather phenomenon. That's going to be pretty much irrelevant for your day-to-day life as we move into the night, all day, as we've seen the clearer skies. Current temperatures, we are sitting at 94 degrees. Similar all over the Big Bend region. It's a little bit warmer up in Valdosta, a little bit cooler down in Apalachicola. Tonight's forecast, 71, we might be seeing a little bit of showers, but we're going to be seeing the similar type of characteristics all over the Big Bend area. Future radar, looking into tonight and tomorrow morning, we're seeing a little bit of clouds, and then as we start heading to class, it's going to be beautiful weather, and then maybe a little bit after class, some type of storms happening at the moment. Tomorrow's forecast, 96 degrees. It's going to be a hot one. It's also going to be a little bit more humid than it was today, and we are seeing similar conditions all throughout the Big Bend region. Apalachicola a little bit cooler, as I said, and we are actually up at the hottest temperature for the Big Bend region. Air quality, good thing it's good quality, so we're not having any major smoke situations going on. It's good quality, little to no risk in our area. Pollen report, if your nose is getting a little bit stuffy or if you're prone to grass type of sicknesses from pollen, it is going to be very high, but very low if you have any other type of sicknesses or allergies like that. UV is a little bit low, water temperature is still nice to swim, a little bit cooler than we'd like to see, and rip currents moderate over in Panama City Beach. In the week ahead, would you look at that? So we are going to see beautiful weather on Saturday for that game when our number 4 ranked team takes on whoever Southern Miss is. And at the end of the week, when we're going to class, we're going to see some rain shower, and I'm going to pass it off to the desk to end our show.
Isabel, I don't know if I can do any better than you. You have our whole studio cackling with all your jokes, but what an amazing show it's been. First Wednesday show of the fall semester, Joy.
And many more to come. I am really excited for them. Are you?
Oh, absolutely. Priscilla, the team leader, producer for today's show, has done an amazing job. You've seen all the conditions delivered so beautifully and all the graphics done so well because she's worked so hard today, and I'm very, very proud of her. Joy?
We are so proud of her. It's her first show ever, and we're just excited for all the new team leaders to do their things and get back into the flow of how FSU weather runs, and we're all excited to work under new leadership.
Yes, absolutely. With that new leadership, we have our amazing talent that you've seen in the past year and many years prior to that. They're going to continue to deliver you those Tallahassee and those national conditions. Speaking of conditions, we're quite hot here in Tallahassee as well as the rest of the country, right,
Yeah,
Joy?
it's pretty hot here. We've been seeing temperatures that don't really feel like fall, and so we're hoping to see some cooler temperatures, but as we saw in our locals, we won't really be seeing what we are wishing for.
No, and we will be getting some storms going into the weekend, and a storm that we must be thinking about now, Hurricane Lee, which has formed in the Atlantic and been named. We do need to keep our eye on that and be as prepared as possible. I know we experienced Hurricane Idalia. Well, luckily in Tallahassee, we did not experience it all that much, that's for sure, but we do need to be prepared, have our flashlights, non-perishables on hand.
And always make sure you have bottles of water and canned food. And even if the storm isn't an imminent threat, be aware. And make sure to follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSUweather and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSUweather.
Yes, we'll be giving you all the latest updates on the storm when it comes, if it comes. So please watch us live on YouTube. You'll see those live updates every weekdays at 6. And follow us on Instagram, where we'll be reposting NWS and all of the latest updates.
And make sure to follow us on TikTok at FSU Weather to see some of the behind the scenes footage, and you can see just how happy of a family we are, and we love to support and talk about the weather and make sure you guys are updated on all the important information that you need to know.
Yes, but for now, I'm student meteorologist Genevieve Rejak.
And I'm student meteorologist Joy Alone.
And we're going to throw it back to the wall to end you with our last 7-day.